back to Prospect Sports Weekly, brought to you by the Prospect Athletic Boosters. I'm Henry Buelow, joined alongside Jack Cloney. Today we're sitting down with senior Jackson Parish and junior Jackson Cacini. Thank you guys for coming on.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having us.
So, just going into that game against Palatine, how did you feel? Obviously, as a first-year varsity quarterback going up against such a big front seven, we could see they were just huge people.
Yeah. So honestly, I think most of the Stevenson game it kind of prepped me for everything that was going to come because they were faster. I felt than Palatine. And so leading up to it, yeah, there's all the talk at school of everybody saying how's this gonna happen, or what do you guys what's the game plan? And I think DeBuff and Beischer and the O-line really have a good game plan every single time. And they usually make everything pretty comfortable and set it out straightforward for everything to happen.
Right. And Cacini, how'd you feel going into your first overtime appearance at the varsity level?
I felt pretty good. I feel confident in our offense that we can make things happen, and in our coaches being able to come up with good play calls.
What are some things you think that would have kind of changed what happened? If you have anything in mind, that would have led you guys to have won?
Yeah, I think in overtime, I think our game plan or the play calls were good. I felt I kind of executed kind of poorly for the other guys, and then I think also later in the fourth quarter when we got the ball back, we had a third and short, and I think we just missed that one. And I think if we get that, we win the game.
Yeah, so Parish, with you getting injured, how have you been dealing with that this early into the season, and what's your mentality going forward?
Yeah, for sure. It's been super disappointing. Obviously looking forward to finishing out the Palatine game. It sucked kind of seeing my brothers out there and not being able to help them out. But I'd say on the sideline, especially after I kind of got checked out and knowing I wasn't going to be able to play the rest of the game, I kind of didn't want people to look over at me and just kind of feel bad, have to get down and stuff, or worry about me. I want them to focus on the game and be able to just kind of pull through, not have to worry about anything else. So I guess that's kind of carried on to begin this week. I just want to make sure all the guys are still focused on the plan, and one guy, I'm down, but they can still push through. We've got great depth, especially on defense, where we're still gonna be able to make big things happen, and we're still gonna be a great team. And I'm gonna be all right. I'm just gonna go to the doc. Shannon's gonna check me out and get me right, and we're gonna be good. So I guess mentally, I'm good. Just bouncing back from an injury. It's just part of the game. So.
Yeah, and just another one for you, Jackson Cacini. Sorry, just the names. How did you feel so far? How the season has gone as your first year starting on varsity?
Yeah, I felt we've done very good. I feel the offense has executed very well in some moments, but I think there's still a lot of room for growth. As some of you guys in the stands or people like that may not see it, but it's within the offense, knowing we should be able to execute this, knowing that we've had the whole 2 months of summer to stay focused on just the little things. And I think some people could say yeah, that's kind of hard to accomplish, but I think with the smartness of everybody, I think that should be focused more.
Right. And Jackson Parish, this being your first year starter on varsity, how'd you feel so far about the first 2 weeks of this season? Sorry, second year starting.
The first week against Stevenson, I was really excited. Going into the game, getting nervous is obviously part of it, but it's super easy to, for me, I kind of am, just channeling the nervousness into, excitement. I feel they're super similar feelings of just, looking forward to something. And so I guess just with experience from last year, it kind of helps me know what to say to the younger guys who are also on defense. Caden Moran, Colin Fouch has been getting in a lot of games, and, Rylan Contreras. Just kind of knowing how they're feeling because I was in that spot last year, it makes me confident in myself, and then being able to help them too just kind of calms everyone down, and it slows down the game. At the varsity level, it's obviously a lot faster than anything I've played before, so helping my guys kind of helps me calm down as well. So it's been good start to the season.
Yeah, and going into Friday's game against Niles West, we had a lot of success against them in the past. Most recent game ending 51-0. That was all the way back in 2019. How do you guys plan to go up against them this year?
This year, I'd say on the defensive side, it's just kind of going to be about us. Like this week, focusing on like adding in new coverage wrinkles and like different ways we're going to attack them. So, not really focusing on like our opponent as much, just kind of focusing on making sure we're doing everything correctly, and then that'll lead us to have success. Because if you're focused on the opponent too much or like the exterior factors, it's super easy to just get caught up in all the numbers and stuff. Once you start looking at all that, like, it's taking away from the game. So just focusing on our plan, what the coaches have to say, and then helping each other is just ways that we can piece together a great football game.
All right, welcome on, guys. Obviously, soccer season's been going on for a while, and we've been meaning to get this done for a bit, but here we are. So just obviously walking through the season so far, your last game was against Stevenson. What are some things like you guys think you need to improve upon after that?
I guess just really communication on the field. You know, some of our games have been really quiet, but I think overall we have like a good team dynamic. So, you know, moving forward, talking shouldn't really be a problem amongst us.
I'd also add on that we just need to look up the field more. We miss a lot of open passes, and we just can't get it done on the attack without building up by passing. We just sometimes kick the ball up or miss an open pass, but we just got to connect. And that's how we've scored most of our goals this season, so we just got to work on that.
Would you guys say like bringing in the new coach has helped you guys a lot in comparison to last season?
Personally, I would say yes. I'm a big fan of his mentality and how like he wants to change the program into something better. You know, he's always putting in 100% into everything he does, and I think that reflects on us as players too.
Yeah, I'd agree for sure. He's probably the best coach I've had. He's really like making the program feel alive. And honestly, we haven't had a good season for a while now. Last year was not good at all, but this year we almost already have as much wins as we did last year. And it's just going great the way he's making us play. I enjoy it a lot.
That's great. And with the seniors leaving last year, how do you think the team's chemistry has changed?
I honestly think that it moved in a positive direction, if I'm being honest, because a lot of us on the team have just been playing outside of school a lot together, you know, at Sunset Meadows or even at the prospect field after school. So, like, we have a lot of team chemistry, in my opinion, more than last year.
Yeah, and also last year there was just a lot more negativity, but now as a new group, new leaders, we're already getting better with each other and working on staying positive.
Would you guys say that's contributed a lot to like how well you guys have started?
I would say yes, for sure. I feel like everybody's attitude just going into games is different this year, you know. Everybody has like more of a, you know, we want to win mindset, and there's not another option for that. So we've definitely been successful in doing that.
Yeah, we've worked on keeping our heads up when we go down. Like against GBS, we went down 1, then we put in 2 before halftime, and ended up winning the game, which was just good for us because we put our heads up and we got it done by halftime.
Yeah. Who do you think, out of the whole team, who do you think some of the people that have stepped up to maybe leadership positions or like brought the team together? Do you have like anyone in mind?
I mean, yeah, our designated captains, you know, Rike, Pitar, and Jack, you know, even him being a sophomore, you know, I like how he gets everybody together and, you know, he uses communication skills on the field. And I also think it's a big part of, you know, the rest of the team listening to the captains too, and I feel like we've been doing a good job at that as well.
Yeah, I'd say the captains, like Ryan said, but honestly for me, the biggest part is how the coaches are talking to us during the game. They're not just yelling at us. They're staying positive with how if we make a mistake, they're not getting super mad. They're just saying how we could work on it. And it's honestly just been a good step up from last year. And I think it's a big part of our success.
Right. Like outside of, you talked about communication, what do you think are some other things that you guys need to improve upon this season?
I guess a lot of it, you know, from us, we have a lot of skills, but I guess the mental part of the game is kind of where it gets us sometimes, you know. I feel like we've been doing a good job at it, like, you know, getting back into the game even after going down, but obviously looking at Stevenson, we just kept going down and down, so upon that we can improve, as well as, I guess, not rushing on the field. You know, we can take our time more and possess with our teammates and just look up the field and relax.
Yeah, I'd say most of it, probably decision making is one of the factors. I'm guilty of it myself, just not taking my time and kicking the ball up the field, but I could tell we've been working on it, we're getting better at it, and if we keep working on it, by the end of the season we'll be 10 times better.
That's great. That's great. And, going into that game against Hoffman, how do you guys plan on attacking it, especially with a new head coach?
Well, I guess our game plan for all the games has just been to outwork everybody. And, today we're obviously planning to outwork them, but we're also trying to make a statement today. So we're gonna go out really strong, and in my opinion, the strongest we've been all season.
Yeah, our mindset is to not lose at home, and that's what we're going to plan on doing. And our new coach, Coach Feeney, he's been really strong on winning every conference game, and that's what we've been all up until this point. That's his main goal, not the tournament before this, but to stay undefeated in conference.
Once again, I'd like to thank the Prospect Athletic Boosters for their support of Prospect Sports Weekly. Be sure to tune in next week for both more football talk and other Prospect sports as we continue into the season.
This has been Jack Cloney.
This has been Henry Buelow. Go Knights!